So next is scroll option. So what is mean by scroll? Just scrolling the window. Okay. So scrolling the window is nothing but if some content, if there is more content, if I want to scroll it, I can scroll it. But as a human, I know if I want to read this means I will just come back to this content and I will read the content. Then if it is okay, I will move to the next content. So I know how to handle scroll. But if I want to automate the programming, I'm having some special methods. 3 kinds of methods are available for this scroll. Okay, so one is if I want to scroll down the page by pixels, based on pixels. So for example, if I say scroll down the page to up to 100 pixel or 1000 pixel. See, I want to move, this is the default position. I want to move the scroll bar to the 1000 position, pixels. That is, this is the height of the pixel. So if I want to move from this position to this position means we have a method called scroll down the page by pixel. That is one method. So in this scroll bar, there is no method for Selenium based methods are not available. These methods are taken from JavaScript. So only these methods alone are used from JavaScript. Okay, so we are not going to use anything specially. We are not going to use import. Only if you type this method, it will automatically ask you to import this method, JavaScript executor. See, if I remove this method, I will just comment this method. It will show error here. See, I'm going to just initialize an extra executor which is called the JavaScript executor. So along with the WebDriver executor, we are going to execute JavaScript executor also. So it will ask you to import the JavaScript executor. So if it is already imported, we can use that. So automatically error goes. So first step is we are going to use JavaScript executor class. JS is your object name and JavaScript executor of driver, like the same thing here. Like driver initialization, here we are using a JavaScript executor initialization, and we are going to use the method called js.executescript. See, we have 3 methods available: js.executescript, js. For everything, we are going to use the method called js.executescript. So we open the URL. The first method is, this method is going to scroll the page by 1000 pixel. So what is meant by 1000 pixel? It will move from the 0 position to 1000 pixel position. So where is the JavaScript? My JavaScript file is by default in this place. By default, it will be in the 0 position. From 0 position, it will move to the 1000 pixel position. So I'm just going to run this. I have enabled only the first method. So it will scroll by method from 0 to 1000 pixel. See, it is loading and it maximizes. See, can you see? From 0 to 1000 pixel. So this is one, but we don't know the exact position of each and every element, right? So we don't know whether that element I want to see is in which pixel position. We have special add-ons also for identifying the position, but that is not much useful while using executing script. So what they did is they have another method. If you want to scroll the page till the end, if I want to scroll the page till the end, just from the top to the bottom, we have a separate method. That method is called window.scroll to 0, document.body.scroll height. So what is document? Document is this screen. In that scroll is this one, and scroll height is from top to bottom. Scroll height is the maximum scroll height of the page. So it automatically scrolls from the top 0 position to the below. So this method will move the scroll bar from the 0 position till the end of the page. See, actually in JavaScript, they usually mention our web page as a document. See, it moves to the bottom page. So this is another method. And the third method is if I want to identify a particular element, first I'm going to find the element using the link text or something. So here I'm going to identify the element called Linux. So I want to identify this Linux element, and the scroll bar should stop in that Linux element. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inspect the particular element. So as this is a link text, see this is a link text, I'm going to use the driver.findElement by.link text of Linux, and I'm going to store it inside an object called element and inside the web element class. So here I'm going to use the method called js.execute script of from arguments of 0 dot scroll into view. The element which is placed like Linux should come into view, and which element should come into view? This object name. This is the parameter. So this is the method. Arguments of 0 dot scroll into view is a method name, and the element should come into the view. So what it will do is it will automatically show the scroll bar until it identifies the particular element called Linux. So if it finds the element Linux, it automatically stops the scroll bar in that particular case. So this is very helpful. Compared to the 3 methods, this is one of the method which is very useful if you want to move the scroll bar to the particular element means you can use this method. See, but it will show only the at the top. It will identify the element and it will show in the top, and scroll bar will stay back here. Your element will be the first in the first row. No highlights or nothing will be shown, but it will just move the scroll bar. Okay, so these are the 3 methods we use for scroll bars. So these are all new concepts. So as first when they designed the Selenium, these concepts were not there. After that, one by one, they started using. See, now they are having coding for drag and drop, right click, double click, left click. For every clicks, they have separate methods. Like that, for scroll bar also, they have used some JavaScript coding, and they are writing the coding to find whether the scroll bar is working or not. But because the scroll bar doesn't have a locator, we can't inspect the scroll bar using locators. Okay, so we can't identify it using name or XPath or something. So we are using separate methods, JavaScript set methods to identify the scroll bars.